All right, today's project is probably going to turn into sadness, but we're going to find out. We want to work on this little fella right here, and I'll show you what we're going to do here in just a second. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man, and per your request, we're going to do some work on some gas engines here. This little feller I have running, and or I had running, and the little pump jack, everything is good to go. And then it started leaking water, and the freeze plug underneath the engine was junk. So I got a different one. However, I don't remember exactly, like this looks used. And I don't remember that. I don't know what my little punch marks are. If I tried to force it in without taking it loose, I just sure don't remember. It still feels like the old one's up in there. But anyway, the sad part of this is you got to take it off, flip it over, take the fuel tank out, and then you can get to where you need to go. Now, I still don't really, for whatever reason, I just don't feel like doing anything. But luckily, past me was thinking and only used one bolt to hold it down. There's another bolt in there, but there was no nut on it. So hopefully this will be relatively easy to remove it from the trailer, or at least get it to where I can flip it over. Or on its side would be good enough. I doubt that there's any fuel in it, but who knows. I'm thinking now maybe before I flip it, it would be a smart idea to would it be a smart idea to disconnect those two bolts there that are holding it? I don't remember how these tanks are mounted on. Is it just one strap? It might be. In which case, that's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and take these two loose, and that fuel line from one end to the other, and then we will flip her over. All right. I don't know which end I want to take loose. Whatever I do, we know by now. It will be wrong. It would make sense to probably take this end loose. Ooh, it's ready. Good. Maybe I already started this project once and never finished it. That sounds about like me, right? I mean, it seems like it's gonna work. The thing you gotta watch is like carburetor pot metal. So you don't want to do anything foolish that you can't recover from, because it will be sad. You won't have anywhere to go. And these old-timey fasteners, well, I guarantee you have two different size heads on them. That might even be a square-headed job. I think it is. That's okay. We can make her work. I'm sure you're getting a lovely shot of just my arm and nothing else, but it's fine. Okay. Jeez. I have got problems, I'm telling you. Right here in River City. Come on now. There. What I'm going to do is yell at it a little bit. I could go get more better tools, but hey. You got to be able to use what you got on hand. How are we going? I don't know. These little corn flies, as you will, or I call them sweat bees, are driving me nuts. They're all over the place. And today it's not even really hot, so I don't know why they're buzzing around. But they're super annoying. That's what you've been seeing on the camera all the time. I think people are thinking they're like honeybees or whatever, but they're not. It's those little little teeny tiny ones. There's a whole bunch of them right here by my arm now. Now, there is another one, I bet you, but I don't know where it would be. Let's flip her and see what happens. Or not. We need to do it this way. Let me get that pulled out. Okay, come on. You gotta pull out sometimes in order for everything to work right. And just pull right out. Oh boy. Trash has accumulated. A sweet relish pack has accumulated under here. Now, oh, hey, I see what's going on. That ain't a bad design. Two on the top and one underneath. Let's see here. Come on. Okay, good. Good deal. Good deal. Now, we want to go one way. One way to get this out of here. Well, ideally, I guess I should move this toolbox now, because it's going to be in the way. This just did not go as planned. Okay, I guess we'll take the valve cover off. Nice old fuel in there. Can we tip this even more, or is that about it? That's probably about it. Alrighty. We still can't really see very good what we're doing. But kind of. There's our rusty freeze plug. Let's just see about getting that out of there. It don't look like it's gonna come out in one piece. It looks like it's gonna be one of these deals where we are just pulling and pulling chunks out. Look at all that rust that's settled in there. There, that's what I wanted. Sediment. Yeah. Let's get some of that trash out. Oh, cow. I hear a cow again. Does anybody else have that trouble? You know how they always say, like, mothers will wake up when they hear a baby crying? I wake up when I hear cows mooing. I know they're up to something. So anytime I hear a cow moo, it's kind of stressful, because that usually means they're doing something that they probably shouldn't. Alright, now if I was smart, so you know where we're going with this, it's not going to happen. But if I was smart, I would flush this out. But as previously stated, you know that ain't happening. So we're going to just try. I would have thought that in here somewhere I had a little screwdriver. I got all kinds of stuff in this box. Oh, here. Here is a nice freeze plug. Dum-dum. I don't know where that other one came from, but I thought I had a brand new one. I just couldn't find it a minute ago. Alright, is that all of the sediment? Or all of it that we can get to? It feels like there's another chunk right there. There. Pretty good. Pretty good. Let's... Woo. For whatever reason, I can't really see what I'm doing, like lighting wise. It's very strange lighting, and I can't really see what I'm doing. Jeez. All right. Let's have a look here. A more better look here, I should say. It looks pretty gooder. So if we do this right, what you would do is put that in right there. Then we're gonna tap her down with the old hammer. And she should seal up. I feel like I still need to clean it a little. All right, now, I wouldn't feel right if I didn't use a little of my old friend Permatex around the edge. Just because I don't know how this is gonna go, or you know, if it's a rough surface like it is, I am really not sure what I'm gonna do. Okay, let's go like this. Let's go like that. There now. There now. There's. Come on. That's kind of a mess, ain't it? But I think it's gonna work. What is that? I think that's a casting flaw. Well, whatever. All right, well, time will tell whether that works. I really am over it at this point. Maybe I'll just pour stop leak in it. I think that will work though. Oh, okay. That was not the prettiest affair. But the gigantic freeze plug is not really that handy to work with, I'll tell you. Okay. Let's slide our old fuel tank in there again. Oh, I hope these little bees die a terrible death. Full of pain. Over it. Okay, get in there. Mother trucker. Putting this back in, talking to myself. I'm just having a heck of a time. Alright, let's give this a screwing. Alright. Then, I'll set this back down. Set her back down. Everything is out of whack now from where it's supposed to be. There. Okay. So, I guess first we'll tighten these up. Then we're going to try to figure out the flywheel situation. And I'll explain that in a minute. I don't know that I said anything about that earlier, but that's the next place we're going. Play nice. Now, our next affair, should I figure out how to make myself room, because I have to undo everything we just did to make room a minute ago. Back here is the speed control. It looks like such. It is broken. And so I'm wondering if there is just enough room that a guy could get that bolt out without having to pull the flywheel off. However, you know, we know our luck. Is it gonna work that way? I doubt it. I think it's even broke twice, because I think it's supposed to push on that plunger like this, yeah. Okay, so we're going to need probably, what size? 9/16 maybe? If I was smart, I would rotate this so that you could actually see what was happening. That pin is right in the way. Clicking is the magneto as it advances. There, now you can see in there to where I'm working. Don't know about the lighting, but you can at least kind of see. Ooh, I bet this ratchet wrench thing ain't gonna work out like I'd hoped. I just can't, I can't get in there to do both and let you see what I'm doing. Maybe. Oh, I need to get my wrench out before it gets pinned in there too tight. I think there might be just enough room to sneak this in. Of course, you just can't get your hand in there. Any kind of handwork there to help you. It's gonna be all wrench, I'm afraid. If it didn't have the pump jack on it, probably would be easier. Or not, you know, or not. Okay. I think we're gonna make it. However, this one, we need to take this off and clean it. Take this bolt out, shine it up, and I think put some anti-seize on it, because this type of like pot metal and steel like to become one, and we don't want that, because that would be sadness. That's probably what broke the first one. The great thing about anti-seize is no matter how little you use, it's always too much. So that's what we did here. It's way too much. I'm gonna be silver all over just like the Tin Man. Good grief. It's going. Alright. Yeah, way too much. Now, can I gotta get that in there? It's gonna be kind of more difficult now, maybe, because of that pin. It would probably be better if I could slide this. It probably won't work that way, though. See if we can get that to start. Or not. That's gonna be the next headache, getting it all lined up at the right time. That's kind of the mistake I have in life. I never can get stuff to line up at the right time. Good grief. Where are you? It's going. Jeez. Wonder if a guy could use the ratcheting wrench now. Would it be enough? Sure would make life easier. we got to watch that we're not tightening it up, and it needs to be over that pin. And if it's not, we're going to have a major meltdown. I think it is, but it would just rather be. Oh yeah. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's going. Wow, I tell you. I don't know about all that. Is that gonna go? I like that. Sure. Yeah, I got silver all over everything. Man, that's nasty. How does that happen? You think you don't have that much, and then before you know it, it's all over. Alright, well, that actually went much, much easier than I thought. So we're good there. Now, the temptation would be to try to run it. However, I don't think I want to today, because I want to let that stuff dry that we put underneath in the freeze plug, and I don't want any vibration loosening that thing or any of that stuff, you know. Not that it would, but I think we accomplished what we set out to do, and I'm gonna just leave her there. This is kind of a neat little engine. Actually, let me move it here so we can get a better look at it. If I can put it back where it was, find it. Somewhere in that neighborhood. Oh, more anti-seize, great. Actually, this pump jack did not come off of this engine. It came off of one like it, except for a few differences. The main difference that I liked about this little engine, other than it is super duper original, like you see, I think if I'd take time and like sand it a little bit and polish, I could really get it to come alive with red paint. You see under the, like the rocker arms there, we got lots of red paint. I need to put the cover back on before I forget. And I don't think we ever tightened up the fuel line. So let's do that real quick, and I'll tell you more about it. But I don't want to forget. I got that lined up a minute ago. Okay, we're going to call that quits. So, this little feller, we'll look at this before I put this on. Rockers are exposed, as most hit and miss engines are. It's got push rods, actually, more like a modern overhead valve engine. It's got a, you know, cam operated intake and exhaust instead of just the exhaust. A lot of the other ones have atmospheric intake where it just like sucks on it as it's coming back. But anyway, your spark plug sits down in there. It's got a little oil dripper job, and it drips into this piece of felt, and then that kind of wicks down and keeps everything all lubed up. And then they had actually this valve cover that is supposed to keep stuff somewhat dust free. Not perfect, obviously, because it's not gasketed or anything. It's supposed to have a wing nut, and I'm not sure. I was thinking I had that, but maybe I didn't put it on because I was afraid somebody'd take it. But that's kind of dumb. I need to just probably get one. If it's not laying in here, it probably doesn't exist. But as you can see, there's plenty stuff laying there, so I don't know. But anyway, so as your ADD kicked in, as the oil gets done in the rockers, then it's got this drain tube to drain excess and let it drip off. Most of these, this is an LB, as you can see. They made an LA, which was basically the same, a few minor differences. Most of these had a little elbow that came out like this, and then it just had a round top, and that was your choke plate and whatever. And what I liked about this one is it's got this little bitty oil bath air cleaner. It's just a little feller, and you know, you can do this to choke it, but I just think that's neat as can be. I've seen some of the 3 to 5s with this, but it's bigger, and this is the only one I've really seen that had this little dude on it, and I just think it's cute, something different. So I put the pump jack on because the motor that was on was a boat anchor. It had been like laying outside or in a fire or something. I can't remember. It was junk. You would have spent way more than it's worth, because these are a dime a dozen, you know. You should be able to get a good running one of these for $300, I would say, in the neighborhood, give or take. They're just not that appealing to collectors. Again, IH made a lot of stuff, so that kind of drives down the price in the collector market, but physically they're not exactly that interesting like the double flywheel things. You can see all that stuff moving. These are all enclosed, and so this is a little bit later style engine, you know, as they were starting to phase out stationary engines. But it's just neat with that little pump jack and all self-contained like that. So I've got some wooden pieces cut, and I think I gotta make a crossbar to operate the pump. The pump is just a piece of garbage, but it's there, so I figured it would, you know, make it where stuff's going up and down. It'd look neat at a show. Figure out how to make them pump water some other time. But anyway, I did have this running, and it ran good. It was just, it was leaking water too bad finally. After a while of vibration kept opening up that plug, and it just couldn't take it anymore. So I think we'll just leave her here and call that the end of this video. I will bolt it back down, and then sometime we'll start it up. I'm thinking about, though, just pulling this trailer over and putting it in the shed again, because I don't know if I'm going to have time to work on gas engines. And like I said, I just don't really have the desire to do much, so I don't want to see it keep getting rained on. I'll pull it over and put her away until fall, and then we'll go to our next show with it. But that's kind of where I'm at with it. But it's a neat little feller, and like I said, I had it running. You know, even got the little belt pulley on it, so you could still use it to run something while you had it belted up to the, you know, you could take it away from the pump or whatever you wanted to do. I mean, they were thinking. They had you covered. So anyway, as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.